So this is my final project for cs341. Um, what I wanted to do was, so for homework 3, we created this database. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to pretty much put this on the web. To do this, I initially started out with putting everything into Azure account. I had an account from a different class, and so it was still active. So I created a new database. Okay. So I created an empty database. Right here. And the initial challenge was, how do I get the database from the CTA locally to remote? For this, I wrote another little application where a user can take their CTA database, put it in the debug folder of wherever this is, input their credentials, and all they have to do is click upload to Azure, and it will go through the process of copying over everything from locally to remotely. I had to modify the data access tier and the business tier to include functions to upload to the database instead of just downloading from the database. I also had to modify it a little bit because initially the data access tier does not allow a remote path because it takes in a database file name and it creates its own path. So I had to create another function which took its own path, which is the connection to the remote Azure server. Because of this, I also had to create a new function for here. Those were easy. The hard part was creating SQL commands and all of these right here. So sending information from locally to a database. That took a while. Once I got that, now that the database is in the cloud, I will have to also add some stored procedures to the cloud so that pretty much make an API where a user can request information and the database or the server would create a JSON file and send it via a JSON file, because you cannot send a list over the internet. The other issue that I had was creating a website. I didn't really have one, so I kind of had to start from scratch. This was the template, and then I had to modify the template. So to get here, you just go to this website, scroll down, click here, this will open up. So after I'm done with this project and it's working, ideally I would have an explanation of what happened, what I did. So, and then here's a link to the CTA app, the web app. Right now, it's not finished yet, but eventually I'll have multiple tables that will be able to scroll through, and they will a user will be able to click buttons to request information from the server, which would then be displayed here. This is harder than I initially thought it would be, but it's okay. We'll see how far I get, and that's current progress. Yeah.